ladies and gentlemen. This is my 94 Ford Mustang 5-liter GT. Sorry for literally no updates on the spacekap. I honestly haven't been camping since last September, unfortunately, and haven't gotten around to messing with the spacekap. I will be soon, to be honest with you. May take a minute to get a video out though. I am a normal human. YouTube is not my daily job. But as you can see, the paint is not cherry. Apparently these cars back in the day came with a fob, so that's kind of cool. I got a 94 Toyota at home as well, pretty much the same color. So since I bought this, when did I buy it? About a month or so ago, month and a half, 2 months ago. I have done a little bit to it, not a whole ton. Oil change, I put lowering springs on it. Ibach 1.5 inch lowering springs, got them off Facebook Marketplace for, geez, 150 bucks. I think the guy had them up for 200. I got them for 150. And I would say it looks pretty darn decent the way that it sits. So as you can see, it was, I don't know, 1.5 inches higher. But yeah, good looking car, SN95. It's the post Fox body with the same running gear. Very underrated car. The more I have it, the more I like it. It's got a beautiful interior. The interior is pretty much cherry on the inside. And yeah, I'll show you closer up. It is not a cherry car. I got it for a very reasonable price. I'm out in Canada here, so stuff's a little more expensive than down in the States. It was $3,100 Canadian. You can do the conversion if you like. I've noticed a lot of these cars have the yellow up front. I think that's just the old plastic underneath. But I am a sheet metal worker. I have a lot of paint experience from my last shop. This car will be painted. That will be in an update. I may or may not film it. I am a normal human being, like I say. I will do an update showing when it is done painting. So what happened was I started polishing this. The previous owner before me decided to use paint match paint and did not clear over it, and everything started turning purple. And basically the car is half green, half purple, and it looks not very good, especially in the sunlight. So what I did was I started polishing the fender, I started polishing the hood. There are swirl marks in here. I only did a cut polish very quickly. Didn't bother doing machine polish or an ultra fine. Like I say, the car is not beautiful, needs touch up anyways. So I did a little bit of it and I was like, ah, yeah, you know, looks good, but it would have taken me forever. So unfortunately, I love the midnight green. She is going black. I think I'm going to do a semi-gloss, and if I don't like it, I'm probably going to clear over it and make it a gloss black. I have experience with, well, little experience. I'm not a body man. I have little experience with body filler, but I am a sheet metal worker, welder, fabricator. If anyone knows Canada very well, I'm a Red Seal sheet metal worker. My dad used to work at a body shop, so we'll make her look good. But yeah, so anyways, the lowering springs, the Ibach lowering springs, that was my third modification. I actually put 1.5 inch wheel spacers in here, because if anyone knows SN95s at all, the wheels, they sit in just this much too far, and it looks a little silly. I do need to get an adjustable track bar. I honestly can't remember if these have a track bar, a panhard, or whatever you would like to call it, but I have noticed that the driver's side sticks out a slight bit more than the passenger side. It really doesn't bother me. The reason I bought this car is because I'd like to get into drag racing, and coming from a 94 Toyota, and as you guys may have seen in my previous videos, I got an 03 Dodge. I'm a truck guy. This thing's more than fast for me, so that's all I really need. I think drag racing's cool, and I'd like to get into it, so this is my starter car. So $3,100 Canadian. It is rusty. It's a Canadian car. Like I say, I'm a sheet metal worker. I will figure out either getting a parts car patch, and or I'll figure out a piece on my own and redo this corner. This is the worst of the actual visible body. Underneath in the trunk area may have been an Eastern car. May have been. She's got a little bit of rust underneath. The rebar where the bumper goes onto, the bumper rebar is a little munted. She's in tough shape. I'll pop the trunk with the awesome fob from 1994. So it was wired for a sub. It's partially wired for a sub. This is the only hole that we got in the trunk. Everything else is good. Show you guys the interior. You can see the purple right here where they kind of got the color match spray paint, and that was probably 15 years ago at least, or God knows how long ago. Didn't clear it. So on the downside, interior is relatively cherry. I will take the rug out this summer. No rips in the seats. I have an aftermarket steering wheel I'm going to put in because the rubber twists a bit. It came with a steering wheel cover, and I took the steering wheel cover off, and it just twisted too much. So I have an aftermarket steering wheel to go in there. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the airbag, but don't tell the RCMP. Gonna put some floor mats in there, and like I say, I will shampoo the carpets. Has an aftermarket radio, and yeah, she's in pretty decent condition though for 30 years old, I gotta say. Back seats in good condition, everything's in good condition. I'll pop the hood for you guys. Alright guys, something I thought was kind of cool that I didn't know about the SN95 before I got it was the hood is fiberglass, and I believe that's factory. That's kind of cool. Yes, I am missing the fuse box cover. I realized that. Came with a cold air intake. Otherwise, as far as I'm concerned, it's bone stock. 5 liter, 5-speed with the T5 transmission, I think it is. Pretty much, like I say, same as the Fox bodies. Very reliable car, not entirely powerful, but like I say, it's more than enough for me just to get into drag racing and have some fun. But yeah, I need to physically clean the engine bay. I'm gonna put a couple degrees of timing in, and she should be good. Eventually, I would like to re-gear it. I'm not gonna do 410s. I'm probably gonna do 373s because I would still like to be able to drive this on the highway at a reasonable rate of pace without being at a grotesque RPM. The only thing I have done otherwise is an exhaust. Now, the previous owners to me did a it's got the factory headers. Factory headers. I don't know if these came with cats. If they did, there aren't any. And it had the factory mufflers, so it's more or less just a cat delete. Sounded great, but the mufflers were rusted out, and well, like I said, sounded great, but it you could tell it had an exhaust leak. So I took it to my brother's shop. He works as he's a Red Seal mechanic, My brother's a Red Seal mechanic, and he works on GM vehicles, so he actually had a couple of factory GM resonators, which are basically glass packs. So it's a 2-inch exhaust, pretty much header back, and I put a couple of 2 1/4 glass packs in, resonators, and it sounds pretty decent. So I'll set you guys up, I'll fire it up for you. Things I didn't mention was it has a B&M shifter. Not sure if it's a short shifter, to be honest with you, but it's got a shift knob, so that's kind of cool, I guess. And I'll do another video of driving it, a full exhaust video from the inside, and sounds pretty darn good. It's relatively reasonable, under 2,000 RPM. And then once you hit 25 to 3,000, she really gets nice and loud, which is obviously good for a drag car. As of right now, it is a daily. If you guys watch my channel, I've got my Dodge Ram 3500. That's my camping rig. And I also have a 94 Toyota that's my daily. And unfortunately, the fuel pump went on it. And waiting for parts. So this is my daily for right now. And she's been like quite reliable. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll give you guys an update on the spacekap pretty soon. Maybe I'll show you my Toyota, and I'll give you some updates on this thing as well. Once I paint it, I've got torque box reinforcements on the way, and I got a little bit of stuff to do to it. I'd like to re-gear it, but again, I'm a regular human being. I have a job, and that might be in the later future, a lot later than I think it should be. Thanks.